Okay, what I'm going to show you today is how you can create your own storybook using Canva. And what you really can do is provide a template to your students and then put that book together. You could also have them on a shared book in Canva, but if what you're wanting is to assign them a template, that's what I'm going to show you today. So you have a variety of ways in. You could certainly make a blank template, but I'm going to show you a way that I think is quite helpful because it already has some of the particular concepts already built in. So these templates are available. They're called Storybooks templates. And if you're searching for that, that's how I got here. And I can make sure that you have the link. And then let's say I wanted to use, I'm going to pick one just to use, and we're going to end up deleting a lot of the elements, but I find it easier to begin with an already pre-made template. So I'm going to click on this dinosaur one, just again to get me started. Notice this one is 8 by 8. This is for printing photo books using Canva. If you're not planning on printing with Canva, you don't need to worry about this being the size. So I'm going to click resize. And I know that some teachers like to make something 8.5 by 11. You can type in 8.5 by 11, and then we could click copy and resize. It's going to take this entire book, copy it, and make it 8.5 by 11. Now, as the teacher, I could alter this however I want. This could become my title. I could replace any images that I want. I could delete any of this. If I liked some of it, I could leave it. I could replace the title. I could put in some artwork if I'd like to. I could add that in. So if I needed to add in anything that I had uploaded, I'd simply go over here to photos. I'd go over here to uploads, and I would upload any file, a picture that I've taken. If there's a picture that I have taken, I'm going to show you an example. So I have many things that I've uploaded into here, and let's just say I am going to put in this picture. We'll pretend like this was a picture that is something related to your project. Here we go. So we have this picture. I want to show you something that you can do in Canva that you can't usually do in a lot of other design programs as easily and quickly. So if I click on this and I click edit image, I can go ahead right now and click background remover. So if you're uploading any artwork or anything that you've taken on a piece of paper, it will try to detect and it will delete the background. So whatever you need for the cover, that might be information for you for later as the teacher. Now let's actually work on the template of the page that you might want for a student. And notice that these pre-made books come with characters, a variety of pieces. Students could actually search for a lot of elements even within Canva that they'd like to use. So here is a page in this particular book. Again, I don't need to use any of the pieces that are here, but it really is going to help me get started with building this template. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I know that I'm going to need more text. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this frame, this background here, because it's not big enough for me. And I'm going to make this font dark so that I can see it. And this is now going to say a sentence of your storybook, but maybe I want them to be writing more than a sentence. This is going to be your story goes here. And perhaps we need to alter the size of this font so that they have enough room to write it. So maybe I'd make it smaller there. And then they would go ahead and type their story in there. I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these images that are here because my students aren't doing something related to dinosaurs, but I just was using this as a base. So if you don't want them to have any backgrounds, you might want to go ahead and delete some of these other images. If you wanted them to have some starting images, you could leave it. But I like knowing that the font is here for me. I like having a background color maybe that I give them. If you prefer that that is gone and that that's white, you can delete this background color altogether. And now we're really just left with a blank page at this point. So either way works. I'm going to put some of these elements back in so you could see what it was like as a starting place. And students can type all of their work here. And then if you'd like to add in the ability for students to drag in or to upload an image and have a specific area where they know that that goes, if you then go under, not photos, go under elements, and you scroll down to either frames. Most likely you'll use frames as opposed to grids. Grids take over the whole page typically, but they have more than one draggable element within it. So if we go under here, if we go under our frames, I can click see all, and I could find one that I like. There are a variety of frames and they'll have interesting cutouts around them. So if I like this one, I could bring this in, I can make it even larger if I need to. And then they could simply write here. Maybe I need to figure out, does each page need a title? So maybe I'm now gonna finally delete the cloud and this other piece. And maybe what I'll do is I'll go back up to some of the pages that have titles on them. And I'm gonna copy this, Command C. And I'm going to simply paste this on this page, and I'm going to say story title, depending on how you're working your story. And then I'm going to move this where I think the student should have it. Now, if you also need an author byline, we might want to copy this, copy Command C, Command V, if I'm here on a Mac, or Control, depending on if you're on a PC. And then maybe this no longer says your story. Maybe this is the author name. And then right over here, I could change this from centered to right aligned, and I could move this where I want it to go. So that's how I could make a particular template. So we have a start here. We have their start depending on how you want the story. Again, we could remove the background here. They could alter font. We could alter a variety of things. And then I could simply delete all of these other pages that are in this file by using the trash can. So we don't need anything else if what we're going to be doing is sending this as a template to students. So here, I'm now deleting everything else. I might want to come back to having this particular page, and we could work on a cover in another video or even in another template design for you as the teacher. So I'm going to delete that right now because my students don't need that information. So here we have our book where it has the title, the writing, and then the way that a student would upload their image that's here, and then I'll show you how to assign it, is they would, when they have it, they would go into Canva and they would go here to uploads. They would make sure to take a picture if you had them draw their file as opposed to looking for images, and then they'd upload that file that is here, and then they'd simply drag that in and it would fill this box. So that's all that they need to do. They'd simply drag in the file that was uploaded and it would fill the box. Any image that they drag in will fill that because this is a frame. Okay, and you'd want to make sure, let's see, now I like where the story title is. Double check that you like everything. And now if it's ready to go, I probably want to change the name of this to be story template, whatever it is, that's the right title. And then I'm going to click the share button, and then I'm going to click Google Classroom. And when I click Google Classroom, it's going to ask me some questions. I'm going to click continue, and then it's going to ask me if I want to share this to Classroom, and I'm going to pick the class that I want to send it to. And then it's going to ask, do I want to create an assignment with it? So I'm going to create an assignment, and then I'm going to click go. And then it's going to ask me for that assignment. It attaches the template for that student. And then what it's going to ask me a variety of questions. So everyone's going to get this particular template. And then we're going to make sure that this is, let me make sure that we're here. So under here, we're going to make sure that this is now a story template for them. And then it's going to be assigned to all of them. You can make sure, and like any of your other assignments, so this will be my fake assignment that I'm practicing. And then I can either assign or schedule it, and away we go. So now I've assigned that and I've posted it to the class. If I want to view it, here I go. I can view this activity. So let's go here under my classwork, my assignment, the story template, and that opens and it says a template was created by me and it was shared with you. Start to design now. So as the student, they then can use this template. They would simply open the template, and now this is theirs. It is a copy of it, and it is in their Canva for them to be playing and using. When they are done with it, they can simply click share, and they could send it to Google Classroom. They could download it as a file. So you need to figure out how is it that you want them to turn this in. If you want them to download it as a file that you then can bring in for yourself, you can have them do a variety of things. They could add you to it and you could download it how you want. It might be easiest if you're going to be pulling all of these things together to simply have them in Canva. So you really do want to think about what is going to be the best way for your students to send this back. If you want it sent back to you in Canva, I think that might end up being the best way. They could simply add your name here and it could be shared with you, and then you could have access to downloading it or copying it into a larger book. And we can talk through how to bring those all together if that helps as well. I hope that this helps you with building a template and sending this out. And if you'd like this template, I'm more than happy to send it your way. Thank you so much.